Only one of us has slept on a floor because there was no bed.
Who's that?
Wait,
Me.
That was bad. Yeah.
So it was when I got divorced. I was staying at a friend's house and I was sleeping on in their spare bedroom. And apparently before I had moved in, they were gracious to let me live with them. But apparently, stop laughing, you son of a bitch.
Sorry, I'm just thinking about this being recording and Mike put it as the
I know.
open.
I can't wait. So apparently before I moved in, they had promised their other family members that they could have this bed that I was sleeping in. And they completely forgot about it. So they were gone. I don't know where the hell they were. And their family shows up to take the bed, literally comes in to find somebody they don't fucking know, wakes them up because I'm working night shift, kicks them out of the bed, takes the bed apart and just leaves. Takes the whole thing with him, just leaves me there with nothing. I don't know who these fucking people are.
Wake up to a room full of strangers.
I'm drunk as shit.
Yeah, sorry, buddy. We gotta take the bed.
Yeah. They're just like, all right, bye. I was like, huh?
You are listening to a Cult Talk Network podcast.
Welcome, everyone, to Cultober 2023. Woo! Yeah, it's our third annual celebration of all things Halloween. It's our favorite time of the year, Cultober, and we're kicking things off today in this jam-packed month.
3. Wow.
Didn't we just fucking do this? I mean,
sure.
I swear to God, it seems like just a couple of months ago, this shit was already
you would think.
My ass.
You would think. And we decided we decided to make it bigger. We do that every year. We make it bigger than the one before.
Bigger, stronger, faster, thicker, girthier, veinier, angrier.
Cultober.
Yeah, there we go. That might be our tag this year. So remember that. We'll do that every time we drop.
Bigger, veinier,
bigger and veinier.
You got to get girthier in there.
Girthier.
Girth is very important.
Really rolls off the tongue.
So what are we here for?
We're kicking things off, and what better way to kick off Cultober than Hocus Pocus?
It's just a little Hocus Pocus.
Fuck you.
Just a little bit. It's so
out early. I'm so sorry.
It's one of those movies that I think is like it's synonymous with October. I'm surprised it took us 3 tries to finally get it in our lineup somewhere.
I know.
Well, I mean, listen, there's a lot of good shit out there.
There is.
And I'll speak for myself. I am a little hesitant going into this October. We're coming in a little soft.
Hocus Pocus.
Because you got to think. Cultober 1, we kicked off with Halloween.
Yeah.
Cultober 2, we kicked off with Scream.
Yeah,
and this year we're bringing in Hocus Pocus because Mike, I think, I'm going to at least say Mike, was the one that had the idea for every Sunday this month, for the first time ever, we're going to do all PG movies.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Because
hey, I didn't come up with it, but hey, maybe we'll get some new younger viewers. I don't know.
We don't need younger. I actively discourage. If you aren't 18, you should not be listening to a fucking word that comes out of my mouth. You understand me?
We do not require a younger audience.
One of the key foundations of a cult is to start building the future, and we have to get them in here and start indoctrinating them now, so that our ideals will grow forth.
Yes, and we do have listeners that listen to us in their car when they're picking up and dropping off their kids.
Yeah.
So now they have a Sunday
kiddie road
option,
trips.
I have dropped the F word 5 times, and it's been 3 minutes.
Hey, I'm not one to tell people how they should raise their kids, whatever. But if your kid listens to this and they get the idea that, hey, mommy and daddy have these little cards in their wallets that if you take and if you DM us the numbers to them,
no.
We can,
we always mark these episodes as not for kids.
There is absolutely no place.
We are not liable.
There is no place for you to give us your money.
I'm not liable for any of that. I mean, that's your own doing. You allowed your kids to do this, so.
I mean, that's true.
Just like these wild-ass kids in Hocus Pocus.
Yeah, just these wild-ass kids in Hocus Pocus. Do you know Leonardo DiCaprio was supposed to be one of those kids? You know that?
Yeah, I just found that out today, though. But I have no idea.
I can see that.
Yeah, he used to be in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he used to be one of those kids. And now he's just dating a kid.
Heartthrob.
But it's...
Oh, yeah. That's right.
That'll be topical by the time this comes out. Maybe I don't know.
You know better.
Yeah, that'll really be tough.
Yeah.
Throwback.
Throwback Sunday.
Throwing back.
Remember
Not
back remember back there at the beginning of the year when
What?
Remember when his court case started collecting evidence? Like,
yeah.
What?
A few months ago. Way back earlier in the year, Leonardo DiCaprio was dating a 19-year-old.
That's not a kid.
That's not a kid.
So is Henry Cavill.
he's like,
Henry Cavill's dating a 19-year-old. Wow, good on them.
Yeah, fucking crickets, you motherfuckers. That's right. So fucking what? 18 is fine.
Yeah,
How old is
it's the
Henry
law.
I mean, it's even
These
lower
are
than
all
that.
celebrities. By the time this comes out, they're not going to be. They're. This is like the third or fourth ex they've had by then.
gotcha.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of the thing.
And I'm
Yeah.
sitting here-
It's just what's memeing now. You
Henry
know?
Yeah, or
Cavill's
what was memeing
It's
then?
recorded.
What was memeing back then?
I
Yeah.
sit here saying, well, Ben and I are 8 years apart, guys. Just
Yeah,
so you
I
know,
mean-
huge hypocrite. Like,
I mean, it's
owning.
so 18 doesn't have. Yeah,
Yeah, it doesn't.
Leonardo's not dating a kid. He's just.
But yeah, Leah was supposed to be in this. Do you know what movie he turned down for it? A little trivia, I guess I'll drop for you guys.
Oh, I don't remember.
He dropped this. You got it, Bailey. Gilbert Grape.
Oh, wow.
One of the 12 movies you've seen.
No, I haven't seen it.
you knew the
I
name.
haven't seen it.
Dude, listen, I'm trying, but there's only so many hours in the day that I can do.
Well, that's when you should get them and like watch them all on that like sped up thing on Netflix.
Oh,
So do you
Yeah.
guys think that Leo made the right choice? What do you think?
I mean,
Yeah.
Gilbert Grape. That was like a big turning point for his career because that was like him showing he had chops, right?
Yeah.
That got him out of.
I like Hocus Pocus, but I mean, I love it. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It didn't need him to be Max, you know?
It didn't. Nope.
It did not. It didn't. No. I think the kid that did Max was fine for it. So this movie also was originally going to be titled Disney's Halloween House. Was going to be the original title for this,
I don't like it.
No.
and it was going to be much darker and scarier.
Ooh, it was the proto Pirates of the Caribbean. It was going to be this is our theme park movie.
Yeah, I think by this time they already had Tower of Terror. I think might have been out by this time. So they did the Tower of Terror movie.
They made a
That's-
Tower of Terror movie.
Yes.
huh?
It's got
Wow.
Steve Guttenberg,
So I have seen
star
that
of
movie.
Star of Levantula.
I don't know who that is.
He's in Levantula.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
It's a movie about lava spitting tarantulas. You don't know? Oh, I thought you might have seen that one.
No, only you, Ty.
It's a spin-off. It's a spin-off to the Sharknado franchise.
Is it really?
It got spin off.
Yeah, they got
Hocus
spin-off.
Pocus. So we got a much better goddamn film to talk about. Than
Yes, we do. I had very contentious opinions on Hocus Pocus, but I will not deny it's a good.
Okay, that's
It
Yeah.
just bores me, but
it bores you.
These are the times when I question how we became friends.
This bores you?
I'm sorry.
bores me.
Like, I
Okay.
love you.
All right. Well,
I love the aesthetic of it, though. I will say I love like the aesthetic of it. I just think the story kind of bores me, but I love like the setting, the New England setting, and the Halloween stuff and all that. But I just the story bores me.
well, I do
I like
have
the
a
sequel.
conversation to have with you then about the story because actually I really liked a lot of the things that they did with the story. Neat. But-
Well, luckily we're here on a podcast where we're going to discuss
Get into that.
the plot of the movie.
Cool.
So, real quick
Yeah.
though, Eric, let's give us some rundown on this movie.
Sounds good to me. Okay.
As we do.
So, as we do. Some of the people behind this film. It was directed by Kenny Ortega. The screenplay was by Mick Garris and Neil Cuthbert.
I didn't think there'd be names in this one. I got you. I got this guy.
Cuthbert. Yeah. But the story was by David. Oh my God, these names. David Kirshner
Kirshner.
and Mick
Yeah.
Garris. Yeah, thank you. Starring. Here we go. Okay, Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, and is it Kathy Najimy?
I think yes.
I think that's
so.
how. Yeah.
She's Peggy from King of the Hill.
Oh, really? Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome! I didn't
Interesting.
know that either. Cool.
Oh yeah. She's funny as hell.
And then the kids were Omri Katz. That was Max.
She was
Thora
the mom
Birch.
from Rat Race too. I didn't know that.
Oh,
She's John
Yeah.
Lovett's wife. Yeah.
Oh yeah, with John Lovitz. Yes.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, she's funny. She's legitimately funny.
Then Vanessa Shaw was the little sister. Thora Birch was Allison.
And this is of course, a Disney flick, an early '90s Disney flick.
Yeah.
I actually seen this the other day when I was traveling for work, and I went to a Half Price Books, and they had this the VHS of this like sealed for $20, and I was tempted to buy it just because I have like a little Halloween VHS collection.
Why didn't you pick it up?
It's $20. I don't know. I paid less for that than for the Blu-ray. I get the Blu-ray for $10.
Yeah, but you don't. But don't you collect the VHS ones for specific?
I collect like the Halloween themed ones. I thought about it, but I don't know.
I mean, is it the artwork where she's like above them and the lightning bolts are coming down onto the kids? That's classic. I
can't remember if it was that one or the poster art, because I like the poster art a lot better of them on the broom above. They're floating in front of the moon. And it's like a painted cover. I like that a lot better than I do the...
See, the lightning bolt one is the one I always remember. We had this really ratty-ass video store called Channel 1. And that was the one that always hung there. So that's why I always have that kind of nostalgia feeling for that poster.
Oh,
there's a store in like a boutique in Chillicothe that sells Channel 1 t-shirts. I'm going to get one at some point.
Oh, really? Are you shitting me?
Yeah, I've seen it. It's like Made in Chillicothe or something like that. I think that's what it's called. I've seen them on Facebook. And they had like...
crap.
They had like Channel 1 shirts. They had a shirt with a logo from that comic store on it, and like a Big Bear shirt they sold.
Was it Journey into Comics or?
No, Journey into Comics. That's in Circleville, I think.
Not Journey into Comics. There was two of them at the time.
I remember the one at the bike shop. They still have some of they still have some like the wall art in there. If you ever go by, they still
that painting is the dude's dad who died of a heart attack.
Oh, nice.
I was good.
Not nice with the heart attack, but nice they kept it.
Well, they still own it. I think the shop itself, they rented out to that bike shop. One of the things they have to keep it. But I was friends with the dad and the son. So if there is a t-shirt with that comic shop on it, I would very much like to have that one in the channel.
I'll see where I found them. I remember it was on one of those shirts that sells like one of those stores that sells like the 740 shirts and shit on them. They had them.
That's fucking crazy.
I have to look and see what that was. Bailey, you should know. You know all the businesses in Chillicothe. Find that out for me and Ben.
I think I do. I do know this.
Figure it out and DM us.
Okay.
Anyway.
So... well, I think without further ado, Eric, go ahead and cast a spell and get us into the next segment.
All right.
Do not sing. I'll fucking slap you.
This is why we're friends.
Here we go. I put a spell. I'm just kidding. Happy Cultober. Burn right. Let's go.
Hocus
now
Pocus.
You're mine.
Oh, I interrupted you. Hocus Pocus.
No, I interrupted you.
Oh my God, you both interrupted me.
You know what we didn't do at the end of this? We didn't introduce ourselves.
Oh my gosh, you're right. Who are we?
I'm Ty.
I'm Eric.
I'm Bailey.
And because there's no Ursa, I'm Ben.
There's Ben.
Right.
Well, you did it.
It's going to be a smooth podcast.
No Eric. I know. No Urs. No Mike.
Yeah.
You made it.
I know. It's just us. Just us on. Yeah. We got a Ben in there.
Yeah.
Good. Ben is here. Hocus Pocus. When is the first time you guys remember watching Hocus Pocus?
Oh man,
John.
I was a kid. I was a little kid. Like,
it was definitely Disney Channel.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely. Just like sitting at the TV and watching it in Halloween time at some point.
Yeah, it's past memory.
Because I would just watch it multiple times, like every fall. I would watch it any chance I got.
So for me, there was Hocus Pocus, and then Under Wraps, and then Don't Look Under the Bed.
That's a good one. I was surprised that hasn't got in here yet.
Oh,
Don't Look Under the Bed, or
Don't Look Under the Bed.
Yeah, Under Wraps would be a good one too.
Under Wraps as well, but I never got into Halloween Town. But I hear tell that there might be something about that.
I never know. Maybe we might surprise you guys this month with something.
Anyway, I don't ever remember this not being part of my October repertoire.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I had a little sister, and she was big into it. I remember not being that. I think I watched it through her, seeing she had it on TV. Because I was just never that big of a fan of this movie. Like, I don't know what it was. Like, it never resonated with me like it did everyone else.
Just didn't really appeal.
I never quite got it. I mean, it didn't have any monsters really, except for I guess Billy. But it never had anything I was at that time I was looking for monster movies and gore and stuff like that. That's kind of shit I was into. I did read an interesting fact. This movie was like basically a flop for Disney when it first came out. Like it lost like $16 million when it first dropped.
Well, yeah, they fucking released it in July.
Oh, that's right.
I never understood they released it in July. I was reading that, and it came out in July.
Movie.
I guess the idea probably was
it came out the same goddamn day as Free Willy. Like, what the fucking morons?
But there was another movie that they wanted to avoid competing with at Halloween, I think.
Well done. You went up against Free Willy during the summer.
Well, I feel like I wonder if the idea behind it was to put it out in the summer, and that way the video is on sale by October.
Oh, well. No, so what I read was their sole reason for releasing it in July is because the kids were out of school, so they were more likely to see it.
Yeah, right.
Still doesn't seem like a good bet.
No,
yeah.
On the weekend.
You release Halloween movies on Halloween during October. You release Christmas movies.
Especially one as like Halloween-y as this. Like this thing's like full on like Halloween through and through. Yeah. Like
I almost don't even think about this movie until it's Halloween time.
Right.
It's like,
it was so weird to watch it outside of this regularly scheduled program.
Right.
But I actually expected the house to be decorated.
I know. Yeah, I did. I turned away from this, because of course we're doing this a little bit ahead of
September 30th. We're recording on September 30th.
Right. So I did. I looked around kind of like you said, it's like, why isn't there more orange leaves around me?
Because the Halloween fairy has not come out yet.
She has not.
No, she hasn't come out till midnight. Came out midnight. About 6 hours ago, she came out on October 1st. Yeah, like this movie, from what I was reading, it was pretty much a financial and critical failure upon release. God. But once it got picked up once Disney started putting it on TV and ABC Family started putting it out around Halloween, that's when it picked up its cult following.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
Once it got on, because that's what when I watch this movie, I think it's so weird for me to watch this on Blu-ray or streaming because I almost can't picture this movie without the ABC Family logo in the bottom of it.
Right. Yeah.
Like that's why I know it as. I know it as an ABC Family Halloween, Halloween, 13 Days of Halloween, whatever they do around that time.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was ABC Family. Man, that's so far back there.
I know. Yeah. Back in the cable days.
Is that Freeform now?
Yeah, it's Freeform now.
Okay.
Freeform. I don't know.
That's what they call it now. Freeform.
It's been like the last 10 years.
Get off my lawn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about ABC Family.
Study the deeper lores from further back.
Yeah.
Peasants.
I'm an ABC Family kid. That's why I am. I don't like the Freeform.
That was back when Sci-Fi and USA were good.
When they spelled sci-fi correctly. That's when I started. That's when it fell off the.
Yeah, I noticed that when it happened in real time, but it felt weird because like nobody said anything about it. Like I was, it just came out of nowhere. It's like suddenly one day, I don't know if they announced that sort of shit ahead of time.
They were like hyping it for a minute.
This is what you're doing now? Okay, this is what we're doing, man.
Yeah.
I not so long ago found
what we're doing now.
I found a YouTube video. It was a YouTube compilation of just all the sci-fi bumpers before they spelled it SYFI, when it was still SCIFI. And they'd have like these really cool bumpers where like, a guy would turn into a bunch of bugs. It was like just weird sci-fi things.
Yeah.
Like these little, and it was like a white room kind of thing. And like, a little purple sci-fi thing would swoop in at the end. I found a YouTube video, which is a compilation of all those. And I would like watch that for endlessly for a long time. Like this was very recently. Like I just put it on TV when I was like writing or something like that. Loved it. Mm-hmm. And it had like the do. That was their little sci-fi jingle.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look that up because
I'll see if I can send it to you.
I remember that my dad was a huge Sci-Fi Channel fan, so I remember those. Like that was a deep one.
I was a Disney Channel kid.
Mm-hmm.
So Bailey, what about you? When did you first see Hocus Pocus?
This was one of the 12 movies that I have watched.
Oh, okay. We're starting to figure them all out.
Just a little bit. I remember watching this on Disney Channel when it had like the little ears in the corner.
Yeah.
The old
Mickey Mouse ears.
Yeah. I remember like it was on every Halloween season. It was this and the Halloween Town series.
Yeah.
For like our family, those were the big ones.
Same.
So
Halloween Town. I never did it.
You never. I was kind of shocked when we was doing like scheduling, and you weren't like didn't seem that excited about it.
I think it just somehow, whether by hook or by crook, I was just never sitting in front of the TV when it was on. Yeah. I saw commercials for it. Isn't that the one when the kids get on like the school bus and their grandma lives? Yep. Okay, see, I saw the commercials for it, but I don't think I ever actually saw it. It was just never one of my formative ones.
I loved it for all the wrong reasons.
Days. It was just like, whether you catch it or not.
That's the thing is back then, if you missed it, you missed it.
Yeah.
No DVR, nothing like that. If you didn't tape it off the VCR, you weren't watching it.
Yeah.
I love it for all the wrong reasons. I love just all the shitty costumes and the bad effects and everything. I loved it. Even when I was a kid, I was like, man, that's the guy in a costume. I liked it.
I mean, yeah, you're right. But it kind of felt Halloween-y in that regard,
it
too.
did. Yeah, it did. I
they
love
could
it.
lean on like, Halloween costume looking things,
And you know what I wonder?
It's a good excuse.
I wonder if the fact that they did that and we were watching that as kids made us believe that our costumes were better looking than they were.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Could have.
That's an interesting thought. Yeah. Like or you can at least get on par with like what's in the movies.
Yeah, because I look at Halloween costumes now that's like off the rack and I'm like, man, they are so fucking cheap looking.
Yeah.
Like, are they cheap or
like somehow ours were better when they were just the same,
yeah.
Elastic, onesie with a plastic mask. You look the ones down, you're like,
smell
what is
the
that?
same. Like if you smell the fabric, it's got that weird kind of almost, I don't know, just Halloween costume smell. It's weird, but
I think lighting plays a lot into it. Like because Halloween Town was pretty brightly lit. It was like daytime. You know what I mean? Through most of the movie. So I wonder if that has something to do with it.
Yeah, because I bet Hocus Pocus's costumes are probably not any better.
I'll bet.
Right.
I wouldn't imagine that they would be. At least not more money put into them. Than
they had a lot of layering.
Yeah, there was a lot of good detail to it and stuff. But
and sometimes that can save it because I mean we've got one of the stills brought up and like you can see like the fishnet. Underneath. What I do find funny is that Sarah is the only one of them that won't wear stockings.
That's because Sarah's character is the only one that's a whole.
Well, this movie, as we've said, like embodies Halloween through and through, and it even kicks off October 31st at one of the darkest times in American history, the Salem Witch Trials.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the mid-90s.
The mid-90s. That's God, I love the 90s. Put me back in the 90s. But
that mustache of yours won't survive.
No, probably. I don't know. It might. I could probably get a job as a cop pretty easily in the 90s. At least a character actor as a cop.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
I think he could do it.
Yeah.
It's niche. You always find the niche.
Yep.
It's a skill you have.
I'll have an IMDb page of just 60 different bit parts as cops in various straight-to-video horror movies. And I'll be a happy man. This takes place in Salem, Massachusetts, which I love. This this is the perfect setting for this movie, and it goes. Yeah. Even when they go to the 90s, it's so nice to see Salem, Massachusetts during Halloween. Like I want to go to Salem around Halloween, but I feel like it's probably miserable. Like I bet because that's when everyone wants to go to it is around Halloween.
Actually, to the contrary,
sounds pretty cool.
I know some people that did do it, and they said that it's actually fantastic.
Really?
The shops are all open. Everybody's dressed up. Everybody's polite. They apparently allow street performers to go out to the cemeteries and sit next to the historic graves, and they tell the stories and
oh my god,
performance. So you can walk through the cemeteries and have stories told to you. Like I agree with you. You would think that it would just be this jam-packed thing, but it's actually not a party town, really.
Nice.
So everybody's kind of polite while it is crowded. It is Salem and Halloween, but it sounds more I'm down for it.
I'm about to see if I get Evan to go out there. Might do that. I really want to go to that.
We can do an episode from there.
Ooh, that'd be nice. There we go. That'd be fun.
Patreon coming soon.
Yeah, once we get a Patreon, fund our trip to Salem, Massachusetts. It's not that expensive of a trip, honestly. We could drive there.
We're not too far.
No, we could. We definitely could.
So
it's cheaper than New Orleans, that's for sure.
Yeah. This whole thing sets up our. It takes place in the 1690s. This is when it kicks off, and we're introduced to basically four of our main characters right off the bat. And these are four of the characters that we'll follow throughout the rest of the movie. That's Thackeray Binks. And he unfortunately witnesses his little sister Emily being whisked away by three evil witches. And those witches are
the Sandersons.
The Sanderson Sisters.
Winifred, Mary, and Sarah.
And
you get it.
What do you guys think of the Sandersons? How do you think Because I know the Sanderson Sisters are pretty well regarded as like movie icons.
Oh, I think they're great. I think they're great.
I love them.
That's the one thing I can say consistently about this movie is I do enjoy them. And that's one of the things I liked most about the sequel is the sequel kept them as they were.
Right.
Like, it didn't change anything. It was like, that's what I like about the sequel. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of the original, but I like the pacing of the sequel and that they kept all the things I liked from the movie in it. So that's what I liked about it. The
sequel.
Yeah, I have no desire.
It's pretty good. I liked it. They do a lot of set work, and I like that. I miss sets. Okay. I miss like the cemetery and all that stuff is like clearly set. And I like that. Give it a really nice look to it. So
it has kind of that Evil Dead look to it. Or Army of Darkness.
Yeah, and that's what I liked about it. And that sequel, like they kept that. They didn't try to like make it like overly grand. There wasn't like any like glow popping bullshit where they had to find a crystal in Egypt or anything like that. So which only works in Halloween Tree. That's the only place that works. That's the only glow popping shit I want to see in my Halloween movies. That's the only glow popping I want to see.
Halloween Tree was spectacular.
Awesome.
Might be revisiting that here this month sometimes. Stick with us.
I will do that with fucking bells on.
So Binks, he confronts the witches, and for his trouble, he has to watch his sister get the life force drained from her.
Life force drained out of her.
And then he is turned into a cat.
To live for all eternity as a cat.
As a cat. What do you think about that? What do you think about that fate?
So
he's a black cat.
I do have a question.
Okay.
Did he learn to talk?
I don't know. Because
wouldn't he look up at his dad and be like, "Help me!"
Yeah, I'm a fucking cat.
He must have had to learn how to talk again somehow, but then it just does. It's like a cat can't magic.
How does it work?
You know what's cool about that is they used real cats, like multiple cats.
Sure. Yeah.
But they CGI'd, the face and the head over it. And I thought that held up pretty well, you know? So you just have this real cat on set and then...
It looks almost animatronic.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good.
I thought so too.
I always thought it was animatronics myself.
Did you? Oh, yeah. Well, that really speaks to the skill they did. And also the guy who did the voice for the cat was not the actor.
No.
The human version of him. They dubbed the other actor's voice in. Yeah.
Now, this whole crazy series of events, this wacky happenstance that just took place, leads to the Sanderson Sisters being captured and hanged. But before they get hanged, they put a curse on the entire town that will resurrect the sisters during a full moon on All Hallows Eve.
If the black flame candle is lit.
If the black flame was lit by a virgin. And that jumps us 300 years into the future.
Yep.
Same place, Salem, Massachusetts, October 31st, 1993.
93, wow.
Yeah, 93. Where were we at in 93? Yeah. I would have been 2 at this time. Been 2 years old at this time.
2?
Someone else go first.
I'd have been 4?
4? Okay.
4?
I wasn't in existence.
We wouldn't have had a Bailey yet.
Oh, you're
Bailey wasn't here.
A twinkle in your father's eye.
I'd have been 5.
5?
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. We were little. Wow. Younger than I thought when this movie. I actually didn't think I was quite that young when this movie
Bailey was still learning how to swim.
Yeah. And she did pretty good. Good.
Great. You were the best swimmer.
Yeah, you won.
You left everybody else to die.
Slowly in a void.
Yep.
What if we
Oh no, what please do go on. What were you gonna say?
What if we find out that those are actually the parallel universe selves of us? Like
that's a lot of parallel universes.
I mean, but that's
big multiverse.
That's how you find like the different versions of yourself. Like, anyway, sorry.
I refuse to think that the center of the universe is my dad's scrote.
Well, you got to think about the scrotes that came before.
Yeah.
Well, there's only one scrote to rule them all.
So the Sanderson sisters.
Well, no, yeah, and we're introduced to the Dennisons. Max and his sister Danny. They're out trick-or-treating, and man, this is I love every time they show like night shots in this, which they do it a lot, but they do such a good job setting up like Halloween, making it feel like Halloween in this movie.
Oh yeah, it looks it's that perfect Halloween weather that I always wish we would get, but we never do, where it's just slightly cold. It's not raining now, but it had rained like the day before, so everything's just kind of wet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Miss it.
Halloween Tree has the exact same type of weather.
That feel to it, slightly gusty.
Yes.
I don't know how properly to like articulate this. Watching Halloween Tree makes me so comfortable. It makes me mad. I don't know how else to put it. Like I want to be there so goddamn bad. It just I don't know how to articulate it. Every time I watch it, I'm like, God damn it, that's so perfect. It's like the most perfect vision of Halloween.
Yeah, it's the
and
perfect
it pisses me off. It's like it's
town
super
on the perfect October night doing the perfect trick or treat. No,
with the most perfect boy that ever lived.
Yeah, he was the most perfect boy.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
Yep.
You know who's not a perfect boy? Max.
Oh, no, he's not.
Max is kind of a D-bag.
He's a dick.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's an idiot.
Well,
yeah.
He thinks Halloween was invented by the candy companies.
I think that was him just being, because I think his big flaw is that he's prideful. So he's trying to scoff at everything around him.
He wants to look cool.
Yeah, he's a conspiracy theorist.
He's from California, which means he's vegan and unhealthy.
Yeah. No. Right.
And they're out on Halloween. They visit just the Sanderson Sister cottage is just a
well, no, they meet. They team up with Max's
Allison
crush, Allison.
Allison.
Yeah.
They run into Allison.
Ty, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
If you had a little sister,
which I do.
And she didn't do this though.
Okay.
And she pulled that kind of stunt in front of your crush at that age. Would you not have ripped her head off like a Mortal Kombat game?
Yeah.
That Yabos comment.
Oh my gosh.
Just be like, you little bitch. Fatality.
Backhander, yeah. And it was the 90s. It's different times. So it would have been all right.
I'd have done it now.
Yeah.
You're gonna bust out Yabos right in front of me? I'll fucking kill you.
I know. Oh, and that glare he was giving her over Allison's shoulder was so good. He looked, man, that actor was feeling that. He was like, yeah,
that's probably
murder you.
I wonder if it was meant to be called something else and she heard him.
She just made it up.
Or he accidentally referred to him as Yabos.
Yeah, because we did not hear him say the word Yabos when he was snuggling the pillow.
He did not, no.
No, he was muttering sweet nothings to pillow Allison. That was so weird.
Boy,
that's strange.
I mean,
I hope his boxers are thick because that's how you get some strange look.
I know, boy,
rubbing on the zipper like that.
And you notice the sister did not wait. She's like, "Oh no, interrupting this shit right now." I was gonna pull a prank on you.
So that's a delicate balance. I mean, if you make her wait for 1 second longer than you should, it gets real uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But one thing I like about this sort of dynamic between the brother and sister is they're pulling pranks on each other a lot in a way. Like he's a little softer on her, right? Like oh, what's that just flew across the moon? Nothing, gotcha. Right. But it shows early on that they're tricksy, so that the tricks that they pull later on in the plot, it makes sense. It's in their character, Right. It shows that they're little tricksters already. Yeah.
Right.
On theme with the trick or treat.
They have good chemistry.
And they do. They do have really good. Yeah, you really believe that they're a brother and a sister.
No.
I think everybody does. I don't know if there's anybody in this who feels out of place.
No, they all do really great. They all do really well.
Yeah, I agree with that. I believe the mom and the dad. For they don't get a lot of screen time, but what there is.
Because like the dad's first reaction when, we're jumping ahead, but when Max finally does get to like yell at his dad, he's like, is it Danny? What is it? He instantly goes into that dad mode. That was good.
Yeah.
The mom is a little bit more strange. How much candy have you had, sweetie? You're like, it's candy, not crack, Mom. I'm not going to just start singing shit because I snorted some pixie sticks, okay?
It was the 90s. Everyone was worried about it was 90s. Everyone was worried about putting drugs and candy and stuff.
Let's count how many times we have to say it was the 90s. It was a different time.
It was the 90s, different time. Now, they stumble across the Sanderson Sisters cottage, which is now a museum. And this whole first act is just like, it's like a whiplash. They're like, here we are getting this story rolling. They don't lead any, there's no like dicking around of,
No,
they're like we know where we want this story to go. We're gonna get you there.
Yeah.
Yep.
I appreciate it. I think this movie comes in at like 97 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Like I appreciate the hell out of that. Don't waste my fucking time.
We have a term for this in the industry. It's called efficient storytelling. A/B storytelling.
This is an efficient story.
This is an efficient storytelling. Yeah. Efficient story.
One of the big things that's been lost here recently.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and it does that while not feeling rushed either.
No,
like everyone has an
it's got a
appropriate
good
amount of
pace.
time.
You're right.
Yep. It's funny. The only other movie that I can really pen that I feel has this kind of pace is a movie that I heap a lot of praise on is Predator.
Oh, yeah.
And I heap a lot of praise on that movie for that very reason.
because of the pacing to the
pacing
story.
on it is fabulous.
I'll tell you, a modern movie I think does that is that Violent Night.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
there's a good Violent Night. We need to do that. I was surprised.
good.
We do have
So
Christmas coming up.
I have some gripes with that movie, but overall, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I love that. I've seen it a ton of times. I showed that to. There was a minute where I was watching that. It seemed like every weekend, so I had an opportunity to show it to someone. So
No.
No, that was a good one.
that had a really good pacing on it.
Willy's Wonderland was like that too.
Oh, I
Willy's-
really like that.
That was a good one.
That's one we need to do.
Yeah,
Willy's
that was
Wonderland.
good. Maybe we'll have to line that for Cultober 4 because that's one I can't believe has eluded us this long. We did
I
that way
know.
back in the day. We actually did that way back in the day when we was doing Cult of Campbell
Beta
betas.
episodes. Did
Yeah,
we?
that was one of the
Covered
very-
that as a beta episode.
That was one of the very first beta episodes we did.
Oh, I
Yeah,
want to go back
two
and
of the-
listen to that.
Two beta
myself.
episodes we need to redo is that one and Predator.
Yeah.
Did we do
agreed.
Predator?
We did do Predator.
we did.
Oh,
Don't
man.
you fucking
Well,
worry.
we'd have to
I can't remember
redo
if we did or
Jurassic
not.
Park too. I want to redo Jurassic Park. That'd be
Yeah.
a good one.
on your birthday,
Yeah.
man. Do Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
Maybe
do Jurassic Park.
Let us know in the comment section if you want us to do Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
I ain't doing I'm not doing outside of the original three, guys.
No.
And I don't
I
even-
wouldn't.
No.
Yeah.
I don't even really like the third one.
No,
Yeah.
I like
like the
Lost.
Scott
I like
Grant.
I like Jurassic World better. I do the third one, but
Me too. Same.
that's,
Oh,
the,
yeah,
that's the only
for
one out of that.
sure.
That's the only one out of that series that's worth a damn. So
Yeah. Well.
What
and the
about the
first one,
first
right?
one?
no, I'm talking about the Jurassic World, not the Jurassic Park movies. I said the Jurassic World. I like it. I like it. Better. That's what.
Oh, I see. We weren't on the same- I'm sorry. Yeah.
No,
I-
no,
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 I won't do either of those.
Jurassic World was not better than Lost World or Jurassic.
I think it's better than 3. No, it wasn't
No.
better. It wasn't better than 1 or 2. No, but I think it was. It falls as number 3 if I'm ranking all 6 of those movies.
Ooh.
I mean, 3 was pretty bad.
3 was pretty bad.
I mean, that I can understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, I can just because I'll tell you what. I'll tell you the reason.
4
why.
had the fucking the water dinosaur.
Indominus
in it.
Rex.
Yeah, Indominus Rex, and it had the fucking water dinosaur. And I really like that one.
Water dinosaur.
Oh, the Mosasaur.
Yeah, the
This
Mosasaur had the
series won't stop
Mosasaur.
until they have cyborg dinosaurs. I just know it.
It's
So
supposed
that's
to
what they
be.
tried to do originally in the 90s.
Yeah,
There is a series of like
did you ever see
robotic.
the art? Yeah, you can see the art for it online.
No kidding.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That was
I mean,
like
it'd be
Spielberg
but
was
I
back
don't
in
want
that.
it.
No, you don't want a serious attempt at it.
No.
Not a serious attempt. No.
Speaking of
Speaking of the
serious,
90s.
let's get back to
Yeah.
Hocus
Different
Pocus.
time.
There we go.
So they find the Sanderson Sisters cottage, which is now a museum, and Max, being the dumbass he is, we've established he's not the smartest guy in the
No,
room.
Well,
He inadvertently,
I disagree with that, but it's his pride. He's being
Yeah.
prideful.
he's a prideful
You
guy,
just said he's being stupid.
Okay, but he's an intelligent guy. He's clever, but he
and he inadvertently, much like Jesus Christ, the Sanderson Sisters are resurrected. Thus,
There's the
there's
Christ
the allegory right in your face,
yeah.
right in your face.
I love this one.
Yeah, 3
Awesome.
resurrection, 3 sisters, 3 nails. It's all there.
It's all there.
3 sisters, 3 nails, 3 days,
3 nails.
3 series of 3 coincidences, all on the third
See,
day.
kids, if you can open your eyes, you can see the Christ allegory.
Especially when it's
everywhere.
3, you can definitely see the Christ allegory and 3 witches returning from hell.
Yes,
Yep.
it's right there in your face.
Subversion.
Hey, if there's any Christians, Catholics, whatever, let me know in the comment section if you too find this comparison slightly sus.
It's subverted storytelling done right.
Oh, well
Yeah.
done, Ryan.
You know what I bet?
Ryan
though?
could not have pulled this story off.
Oh my God, no. Ryan couldn't write something as good as Hocus Pocus if he
Who's
sold
Ryan?
his soul to the devil.
Who's
Ryan
Ryan?
Johnson.
I'm lost. Who's
Ryan
Ryan?
Johnson,
Ryan Johnson, Star Wars.
round-headed,
dude.
retarded idiot
Oh,
that
okay.
Yeah.
does the glass onion and Knives Out, and then last but not least,
I thought those were. I thought Knives Out was
those are
pretty
so
good.
stupid. Those are so
I like the
stupid.
first one. I haven't seen Glass Onion.
Okay, let me tell you something that I guarantee you is true about Knives Out. He has a premise that a character in it vomits whenever they tell a lie or are around a lie.
Okay.
I will guarantee you that at some point, either he forgets that this is a thing in his own continuity, or that character's a fucking liar. There's no way that moron pulled off a murder mystery with this premise intact. No way. That's a challenge.
So the sisters are resurrected.
You know what I bet though? I bet Binks was pretty fucking busy having to guard that candle with Zippo lighters just right across the fucking room.
Oh yeah.
Like loaded and available.
Yeah.
Just-
Yeah.
That was
Completely fueled up, not under a lock case or
ready
nothing.
to go. Oh yeah, I mean, a cat, he would probably just want to knock those off the ledges all the time and scoot them out,
Probably.
Anyway. Yeah. And it's a candle that you're trying to keep from being lit. So
did Binks have kittens?
I don't know. He's a cat. So, did he have sex with other cats?
He might have. He's had a long time.
He's a cat. Yeah, he was a cat longer than he was a human by a long time. So.
By a metric
by a long time. Yeah, I'm sure to him.
You're telling me that just one day he didn't go, fuck it, I'll try it.
He's more cat than man at this point. So I mean,
how did we get here?
Well, Binks. Zachary Binks.
It's a plot point that these writers failed to incorporate into the film, and we're critiquing that. So
we have a lot of questions about it.
I'll bet he did. I'll bet he did fuck cats because the way he talks, it's like very just casually, I am a cat, because he is used to being.
And you know what? Now. You know what's sad? That means that not only did he have sex with a cat and have kittens, but then he probably killed and ate his own children.
And this is all stuff that Disney can explore in the Hocus Pocus extended universe.
Right.
Give them time. They will.
Give them time. A whole series of Binks the cat.
Oh, that would be cool if there was like a lineage of Binks cats.
Yeah, him shitting in boxes, pissing on things.
Like the Rangers for the Shire.
Do you really want them to do this?
Not at all. Not at all.
It's all right in the works. It's all right in the works. You know it is.
Nope, I don't want it.
So they light the candle and bring back the sisters.
Yeah, and the sisters turn their attention to Danny, much like they did Binks' sister, and they attempt to suck her soul from her. But Max, in one of the few moments of heroism, he saves his sister, and also...
I'm going to have to push back on that. Max is pretty heroic. He might not be smart.
Yeah, he's not smart. You don't have to be smart to be heroic, I guess.
Not at all.
Oh my gosh.
Bravery and stupidity often cross bounds.
They do.
He jumps in and gets his ass immediately kicked by magic lightning.
Which was nice.
Yeah.
You take your hero and lay him down in the first fight.
Yep. Smacked against the wall or dragged up the wall.
Yeah. Let's take a minute to just bet Midler, man. Did she not kill him?
Oh,
fantastic.
My God. She was great.
She can do no wrong.
Yes, she can.
Performance
but this ain't it.
No. She's fantastic.
Winnie
all of them
was amazing.
And you know what I love about her and Winnie is that she said that is her favorite role that she's ever done.
Oh,
and so I love when you have a character and an actor that just combine and the actor knows it. Kind of like Johnny Depp with Jack Sparrow.
Yeah.
I think all of them did absolutely amazing.
Well,
they all mesh really, really well.
They do.
For sure.
We were actually talking about Sarah Jessica Parker and just how well she, did in this role, but not only that, but how well she looked in this role too.
This is Bailey's nice way of saying that this is the only time that Sarah Jessica Parker was ever hot on. This is it. If you want sweet Sarah Jessica Parker jerkin material, you got to go to Hocus Pocus.
You got to. That's where you got to go.
Other than that, it's Mr. Ed.
But they did a really good job of accentuating her features. And
they gave her cat eyes to stretch out that gigantic forehead. They lowered her hair all along her face so that it hid that robust chin. And then they perked her boobs up to hide the fact that she's got a 12-year-old frame.
Did you know that she when they hoisted her up, when they had them in their rigs for the brooms, this is me desperately trying to change the topic, but it's a neat fact. She was so comfortable up there just in the harness that what she would do is just sneak something up with her to read between takes, because sometimes they would just lower them because it would be so long between takes. And she was like, leave me up here. I'm fine. Got something to read. Save them the time lowering her back down just to raise her back up again.
Listen, physical aspersions aside, she kills it in this role. I mean, it's not that she's not a good actress. She's just
she's a fantastic actress. She's wonderful.
Yeah. She's just a little rough around the edges.
Now, this whole sequence here, leads them on a chase to the cemetery, the town cemetery. Hallowed ground. And also, this is where we're introduced to another central character.
Billy Bones.
Billy Butcherson.
Butcherson, there it is.
Billy Butcherson.
Yeah.
Played by, God damn it.
Oh.
We were just talking about him.
He's a pretty big,
there it is.
Yes.
Doug Jones.
Doug Jones.
This is before he got kind of big through Hellboy playing Abe Sapien. And then, of course, he also played the Abe Sapien in The Shape of Water. Come on, Del Toro.
Basically, yeah.
And then he also played the Silver Surfer in what can only be described as a should have been abortion, but wasn't.
Yep.
But I mean, he's a fantastic body actor.
Yeah.
believe, if I'm not mistaken, he's a mime by trait.
Oh, that would make sense.
It shows.
I can see that. It does. Yeah.
That's awesome.
He's great.
Billy Butcherson, wasn't that a character's name in Con Air, I think, as well? I think it was the guy he kills and he's the redneck guy that he killed, that Nicolas Cage kills him.
No.
That wasn't Billy Butcherson? Somebody, I thought it was Billy Butcherson. It is Billy, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it is Billy. Billy,
the bunny back in the... It's that guy that he kills when he's got the bunny out.
I knew you were a punk.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy. Yeah, I can't remember his name, but I know what you're talking about.
I thought he was Billy Butcherson. Maybe I was wrong.
What really shows, like, other than the whole thing, but when they're in, what do you call that? Like the sewer system?
Yeah, the sewers are kind of
and Billy's like turning all around, and like his arms are legs and head and neck and flailing all around. I mean, it's just it's really, really good. That was when we were watching it back for this. That was something that I really picked up on and noticed, because you see it all throughout, but I think really just in that scene in particular, they were just kind of like, okay, go show off,
Billy,
know, or just be
Billy Bedlam.
Oh, Billy Bedlam. There we go.
Billy Bedlam for Con Air.
Now, the witches, they are in hot pursuit of Max and Danny, and they're hell-bent on consuming poor Danny's life force. And we find out a reason for that is that the spell that brought them back only works on Halloween unless they suck the life force out of at least one child. And if they don't, they're going to suffer the fate of being turned to dust at sunrise.
Or stone.
I
think that my theory is that was the hollow ground. And then she got blown apart by the sun.
Yes.
That's my theory.
But wasn't she...
It was like happening. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, it came up from her feet, and it was... And
her feet were kind of sizzling as she was walking along.
And she turned to stone first.
That's my best guess.
And then her sisters... Yeah. The sisters just obliterated. Right. Yeah. Whereas she landed in the graveyard.
Yeah, she's stone in the sequel. She's a statue in the sequel.
Oh,
really?
Yeah, they have her as like a statue, if I remember correctly from that.
Oh, interesting.
Because she's stone. She's a fucking stone woman thing. So,
which kind of makes sense, except she explodes.
Does she explode?
Put her back together?
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't fucking know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, I can see that.
I thought she was
open it up.
Yeah.
I mean, only because you're deciding to completely not.
Right.
Because they all get resurrected.
Yeah. Right.
All that does is prove to me that you didn't need to do it all.
Yeah. They Palpatined it.
So. Yeah.
It's a good watch. If you ever, it's a good watch. You can leave it or take it, but it's a good watch. It's a fun movie. I don't think it has all three of them back. It's fun. It does. It has everyone back. It has Doug Jones comes back. I think the girl who plays Danny might be in it as well. I think one of the kids is her daughter or some shit maybe. But it's a good flick. Now they lure the kids. They lure the witches to the high school, which seems like a good place to lure three witches who are wanting to consume children's souls. Yeah. And they burn them alive. They burn these witches alive.
In the furnace.
Yeah, burn them alive. Pretty brutal.
They tried the cops, then they tried the parents, and those two things didn't work out. So they're like, all right, fire it is.
Which, of course, the parents resulted in the I put a spell on you scene, which is what
one of the most iconic
yeah, that is.
Movie.
That is.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the most iconic.
It is. And rightfully so. I love that song. But it was a good way of like saying like, yep, we've torn down your authority. Like the people that you went to for help, they're gone, kids. So yeah, they've got to trick them once again into the furnace and burn them alive this time, maybe.
I wonder if this is part of the reason why we don't see a lot of pottery kilns in high schools anymore. I do wonder.
Well, that sounds like a conspiracy. Then the witches have eradicated the furnaces. They're taking over our schools.
Well, I mean,
for children's. Oh, to suck out the children's life force. Oh, no.
What's worse, witches or the government?
They're both sucking the life
force. So after they get burned up, everyone thinks things are okay. Zachary Binks has a nice, long, eternal life ahead of him as, basically a family heirloom. I call him Zachary every time.
Thackeray.
It's Thackeray.
With
it is Thackeray.
Thackeray.
It did take me forever to get that.
Yeah. Like my whole childhood, I probably thought it was Zachary. Yeah. But this is kind of the stuff that starts to make, like, Winifred is almost the protagonist of this movie. You know what I mean? Like, she has so many of the, like, protagonist beats. And like, this is her all is lost moment. They couldn't get the book, so she tries to remember the spell. She can't remember the spell, so then she falls into that despair, before she's rallied by these idiot kids opening the book.
Yeah, I mean,
it's nice and safe in their home.
It is one of those things where, like, at the end of the day, she's just trying to save her and her sisters.
She's trying to save
herself.
Oh,
actually, yeah. So that's actually, to me, one of the main differences between her approach to the conflict and Max's approach. Like, the question that these two both face that I'm sorry, I'm getting into the theme shit. I'm jumping on this. They both have the question of, is your pride more important than your family? Or is your goal, whatever, I'm accusing them of pride flaw, but is your goal more important than your family? This is kind of where I really don't, it's just for her. She does not give a shit about her sisters in the way, they're just in any more than they are just extensions of herself. And she blows them off all the time. Whereas,
they make that point early when they come across the Blacktop Road and they think it's a Black River. Before they even establish what it is, Winifred throws Sarah into it.
Yeah.
Now, of course, it doesn't do anything.
Right.
She didn't fucking know that.
Yeah.
No. Whereas Max is like, no matter how much he doesn't want to, he is like there for his sister. Like, he did not want to take her trick or treating, but
he did.
It was never really a question of whether or not he would,
Well, she did scream.
Yeah.
You bitch.
Like,
I don't know.
First
She's
of all,
such a brat.
that kind of scream though just like sets me on edge.
So if my kid did that and I came up there and that's what they were arguing about, I'd be like, you know what? You can choose whether or not to take your sister to trick or treat. Next time you scream like that, your hair better be on fucking fire.
Right?
Like you don't, because I'm coming up there like handgun drawn, ready to draw blood. Like I'm thinking somebody's dying up here.
It would scare the shit out of me. Like, oh my God.
But one of the neat things about like this sister dynamic that's going on throughout the movie is like when either Max or Winnie blows off their sister, doesn't listen to what they're trying to say, like that's when things start going wrong for him. It's only when Max starts like playing as a team, like, okay, yes, you're right. Or, I could be wrong, kind of getting more humble and collaborating with the people instead of just trying to be all manly man about it, And
the way I think one of the reasons why they're able to kind of theme that up so nicely is because the sisters embody all the opposite traits of the other four.
Yeah, right.
I mean, almost literally.
They are like almost completely antithetical to him, aren't they?
Yeah. Max is a team player and cares about his sister. Winifred doesn't care about them at all. What's the one's name? It's not Sarah. Mary barks,
Barks like a dog.
Barks like a dog.
Goes to a cat. Meows and hisses. Sarah
is an idiot where they're this youngest, whereas Danny is actually pretty clever. She tries to con her way out of danger and try to bluff her way out a few times.
Yep.
And she's actually really smart.
Yeah. And whereas Sarah is also very much like, well, both of the sisters are like really, yes, whatever you say to Winnie, like they never challenge her. Like Danny is challenging Max right and left. Like she is not putting up with the bullshit from him. Yep. You know what I mean?
And, Max is a virgin, whereas Sarah is a whore.
And another neat one in the props I thought was, they kept giving like Allison, she kept using the witch's tools against them.
Right.
Like,
whereas they were trying to modernize.
Yeah. Whereas like, and Mary, she picks up the vacuum and, has to fly with that and stuff like
Figures out television.
But like,
I love that scream when she's watching the baby.
She's just like, looks like she's on a roller coaster.
I said it before. I said that lady is hilarious.
Oh my God. She is so great. Funny. I would have watched like, if any one of these three had been just like a single witch bad guy, I would have watched that movie.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, just on their own, but together they're amazing.
Yeah, because I mean, even Sarah has, her moment where you can actually see where she's kind of dangerous when she's singing that song and luring all the kids.
Oh, yeah. It kind of makes her one of the most dangerous
ones. There's a seduction and danger there.
There really is. That's a massive amount of kids.
Undermines that layer of stupidity.
You know what was the scariest moment for Sarah?
Huh.
And I'm jumping ahead just a wee hit here is when Danny is kidnapped and Sarah's underneath the covers and she jumps out
of the bed.
and yells trick or treat.
Oh,
and,
that was creepy.
It was creepy and weird and like the music was on cue with it. But that was actually pretty scary for that.
And I think the singing scene and then perhaps that scene there and then the kids burning them in the kennel is a little bit of seasoning left over from that darker script.
Could very well be.
I would bet that
you're right.
these scenes had comparable, if not outright copies in that darker script.
Yeah.
I bet you're right.
Same with probably Billy Bones.
Oh yeah.
She talks about how he like cut out his tongue.
So his mouth shut. He had they only like mentioned it once, but he was like dating Winnie and then had an affair.
Yeah. So there's some little bit more adult
with Sarah.
there.
Dated Winnie and then slept with Sarah.
Yeah, that was
right.
You know why?
You kind of pick up on that.
Because Sarah is a whole.
You found something out that was really cool about Billy, though. Real quick, I just remembered it.
Oh,
yeah. The Roman numerals.
So yeah, that was a trivia thing I read. The stitching in his lips is the Roman numeral for 13.
Oh, okay.
It's like XIII.
I have never noticed that.
Me neither.
And that's just a layer of coolness that I bet this movie has all over the place.
And moths pop out of his mouth when he finally gets to cut his mouth open. And those are real moths that they planted in the apparatus in his mouth.
Yep.
And he...
So gross.
Yep. They would seal it shut and he would actually have to pry it open and let them fucking moths.
Jeez.
So gross.
Damn.
That's a good actor there.
Yeah,
Doug Jones is a fucking champ.
Sorry. So back to where were we in the plot?
So the sisters, they kidnapped Danny, I believe, at this point. They kidnapped Danny and Binks. And this is where
Sarah sings her song.
Yep.
Sarah sings her song. Yep. We have her little siren song.
Sarah sings her song. So we actually have that on a wood plaque in our dining room. The lyrics to that song. Yeah.
Lovely.
From the movie. So.
And our kid protagonists, they end up tricking the witches. That's how
thinking that the sun had risen.
Yeah, Max and Allison, they trick the witches, and that's how they free Danny and Binks. They trick the witches, make them think the sunrise is occurring 1 hour early.
Yep.
And that causes them to go into full panic.
And they once again fall to the floor. It's a they did the trick on him earlier. With
burning rain of death.
Burning rain of death.
Yes.
So it's once again they're falling for it.
Great Max.
Yep. Great Max.
Which he took the lighter and lit it up to the sprinkler, and then the water came down, and that was the rain of death.
Calls fire to his hand. They beat it with Danny, leaving bullies behind that we haven't mentioned, but it's the 90s. There's bullies in there.
Yep.
that have gotten wound up in things. They're
Hollywood.
Great.
I love those guys.
They're great. They're amazing.
Listen, sometimes cousins can produce something beautiful. Ice.
My name's not Ernie. Ice.
It's ice.
Ice.
On the back of the tractor. Right.
I'm gonna puke. So they're escaping. Their bullies are entrapped and left behind and forgotten about until the credits.
Yep.
And they're beating it, but the witches figure it out when they don't die.
Yep.
Again.
Yep.
Which they're just laying there waiting for death. And what's so cute is they're all cuddled up next to Winnie.
They are. They're collapsed onto Winnie.
Winnie's like, it's my curse. Along with you two.
Followed by, get off me.
Yep. So
we fly. On what? On what?
So they take to their broom and mop and vacuum cleaner.
Oh, but for this, what's interesting is remember, it only took one child for them to live forever. They now have a horde of children coming to their home.
Not to mention the two dudes in the cage.
Yeah. So they have everything that they need.
So that's right. They spilled the potion in the confrontation.
But they had enough to accomplish their goal.
But she really wanted Danny because Danny called her ugly when she was captured.
Hurt her feelings.
She hurt her feelings.
Hurt my feelings.
She hurt her feelings.
Really?
So that right there is the closest to not the insult, not the insult reaction itself, but the voice and kind of personality that Winnie adopts when she says that hurt my feelings. I feel like is the closest to the regular Bette Midler we get the entire film.
Yeah,
because I can see her probably doing that to her kids.
Oh man,
like, it hurt my feelings.
You know what's funny is that really reminds me of my mom sometimes. And that moment is
Eric's
one of those
mom's
moments.
a witch. Confirmed.
She's a good witch. But yeah, that really hurt my feelings. It's like, oh, mom, I feel it.
Yep. So, I was like a little bit of the Bette Midler actually poking out there for a minute.
Bette Midler, I'm gonna read an interview like this. She said this is like one of her favorite roles, like ever. It's like her favorite.
Yeah, this is Winnie
amazing.
is her favorite. I think it's her favorite character that she's ever done on screen, which is fantastic.
I think I've seen pictures. I guess she even like when she's touring around doing like her singing stuff. She'll do a couple songs where she's dressed as Winifred.
Dressed as Winnie. Yeah.
Oh, thank God! I love that. I love that for her, and I love that for us.
She was like a big proponent for the sequel, and I was like, she was the one really pushing for the sequel.
Well,
just because she wanted to return to those characters,
to get back to that role. Yeah, I see.
It's just
that.
like Korn will play songs that they did in Queen of the Damned.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Jonathan has been trying for years to be able to release that as an album.
Oh, darn.
I watched that not too long ago. Queen of the Damned.
It's not good, but
it's not. It's got good music. You can say that about it.
Yeah, that soundtrack, man, that Queen of the Damned soundtrack was something special.
Oh yeah,
it was good. Yeah, but I definitely see it through rose tinted glasses.
Oh right. Yeah, for sure.
It's a hard watch. I'll say like it's just you watch it and it's just one of those like early 2000s, like late 90s.
Yeah.
Especially when you put it next to Interview with a Vampire.
Oh, yeah.
It's two different styles, that's for sure.
But that's what happens when you skip the middle book in a trilogy, and the middle book happens to be the biggest of the three.
Yeah.
Oh.
Really? So the movie that's not made as the
like biggest, book.
Wow.
So, you know the scene where so the whole book is Lestat becoming a vampire. And so that scene where he like meets Marius and like is in the winter and stuff, that's the entire middle book. And so they take forever to flush out why you have this personality change in Lestat from Interview with the Vampire to Queen of the Damned.
Yep.
And so because they skip all that, you're watching this movie going, these are the same characters?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but he went through like a lot of fucking
You just didn't see it. It happened off screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As we said, the witches, they fly off on their various instruments of flight.
Yeah.
And they descend down. They are able to they're snatched Danny, but they're also trying to go ahead and finish her off. And they have one bottle of the potion left, right?
Just the one.
And you know what? It's not even enough for the sisters.
Yeah.
No.
It already isn't.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
Yeah, it's just Winifred, yep. And she's getting ready to use it, and that's when Binks knocks the potion out of her hand, and Max catches it, and he chugs it.
Chugs it.
Yep.
Take me instead.
Yep.
Take me instead.
Yep.
That's not the line.
And she runs out of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Says, now you have no choice.
Yeah, the sun's starting to rise.
He takes the fall. He takes her from the broom onto the hollowed ground, and it starts sizzling her feet.
Yep.
And the sun is coming up. So, the others are dealing with the other sisters too. They kind of slingshot him out into the
and
air.
there is the difference. Max develops a plan using all of his group together, whereas Winifred just constantly ignores her sisters and doesn't really use them unless it's for a very specific, isolated purpose.
Yeah. Right. And, they always split up during the confrontation time. The sister, she's always like, you go that way and you go that way. And they're attacking from different, just swoop at them.
Well, I mean, in their defense, if you were Ariel, you would want to do that.
I guess that's true. Yeah. But they were doing pretty good. They knocked the head off of Billy.
I mean, that doesn't seem to be like a huge accomplishment. And besides, he got back up.
He got back up, but it's what got Danny out of the circle of salt.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
they really should have just had Billy in the crypt with.
Right. Yeah. That should have. Yeah. Just fend him off with his arms, I
haven't seen now, but I digress.
Yeah. But anyway,
the sisters get hit by the sun and they explode.
Yeah. Sarah and Mary, they're gone. They're dust.
It was a shame.
Yeah.
Although they didn't really seem to be all that upset by it.
Yeah.
Well, they were a little like,
Not Sarah.
Sarah wasn't. She was kind of like, Winnie, bye.
Yeah, she said goodbye. Her last words were saying goodbye to Winnie.
So was Mary, but Mary was, bye-bye. She was like, this sucks.
Like, oh, man.
Now,
I got the impression that they were just going back to hell.
Possibly.
Yeah.
I don't know, because Winnie said they ceased to exist.
There is that, part. Yeah, there's that line there. So,
Yeah.
Dost
but I
thou
was kinda...
comprehend?
And the answer is no.
They do not.
Now, the witches, they're dead. Winifred, she turns the stone. And with the witches gone, Binks' curse is finally broken. And I think one of the cool things about this is we don't have, his curse is broken. He's like, does the whole thing, hey, I'm a human again. I guess I got to learn how to live in the market. No, he's just dead. They just he finally dies. His soul is free, and he's able to see his sister Emily, who died at the beginning. And they head off into the afterlife, whatever that may be.
To make fun of Max being a virgin one final time.
Yeah. He does, just right over his shoulder. That's the takeaway from me, buddy.
The lesson, kids. Never light a candle until after you fucked.
Yep, that's a good one. Right. There you go, kids.
No fire.
If you learned anything, don't be a virgin. Fire. Virgins are losers. If you've learned anything,
that's not. Just don't like things yet. No, that's oh god. Did you guys notice that Thackeray died at his sister's grave?
Yeah,
that was the headstone that he died at. Yeah, must be desperately trying to change the topic again.
Billy got to go back to bed.
He did. Oh, Billy goes back to sleep.
Lay back down, and he had a free mouth.
Yeah. And he was able to talk shit in the afterlife.
Yeah. And we see the spell book. Its eye flashes open. And that's an indication that maybe the witches might be overturned.
Well, might not be over yet. Yep.
They may be there.
And then credits where we see that the parents are now, their spell is broken. They no longer have to dance until they die.
All night.
All night.
Hell of a party. Better. Like he thought LA was a party town. And we saw that the bullies are still in their cages. You know who we never follow up with again? The 3 little girls that made off with the witches' broomsticks during the trick-or-treating.
Oh, yeah, we didn't see those.
We don't know shit about what happened to
we
those
both assumed
girls.
that they fell and died.
They must have.
That's why I'm assuming they did. They
wouldn't know how to get down. They wouldn't know how to get down.
I would assume they got stuck. It's PG for Christ's sake.
On what?
Yeah.
That's why they didn't show it.
Yeah, that's why we don't know what happened.
They probably got on the brooms. They know what to do. The brooms fucking shot up into the stratosphere. They suffocated and froze, and their bodies are drifting now in the
miles away.
Yep,
shattered somewhere.
Shattered and rain.
Run over when Elon Musk shit that car off into space.
Yeah. They're petrified bodies now, just floating amongst the space junk up there.
Yep, in orbit.
Sad story.
Rooms. Yeah,
or they got shot down by the military.
Oh, that's also that's also possible. Another unanswered thing in this thing when they're in the catacombs, the sewers. There's a skeleton just hanging from a shaft above them, he died stuck in it. What the fuck?
Poor sewer worker.
That's a utility worker.
Yeah, poor.
Wouldn't you know?
Poor underpaid city worker. Just got in there.
What you don't know is Binks actually sat there and talked to him for 8 days before he got stopped.
Well, he said,
and Binks is like, listen, man, it's nothing I can do for you, but I am going to eat you.
I'm a cat, man. I can't do shit.
Binks probably did eat some of it.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, that was a pretty clean skeleton. Because it had to be old. It was a totally skeleton. It wasn't no meat on it.
Well, I mean,
it was picked clean.
Cat family.
What?
Binks has got to feed his cat family.
Probably got hundreds of thousands of offspring. I would assume.
Salem is overrun with talking cats.
Oh my gosh, just generations.
Yeah.
The Binks is
his DNA. I guess his DNA. I wonder if his sperm got changed as well when he got turned to. There's a lot of unanswered questions. These writers left just hanging in the wind. What a bunch of hacks.
You're not supposed to tie off every.
They failed to address. Is his sperm? Is it cat sperm? Is it human sperm? Are his offspring now partially human as well?
Partially human, or also eternal?
Man,
until then, did they spend their lives thinking they were immortal, and then when the curse is broken,
they all just drop dead?
Yeah. I'm gonna need a 10-part. I'm gonna need a 10-part Disney Plus exclusive miniseries to explain all this stuff. If we can get this rolling, I think it might be worth a watch, at least to explain some of this.
And Bulgaria will fit in perfectly for Salem.
What better place to mirror Salem than the gray back alleys of mucky Bulgaria? All right, let's get into our next segment. We've talked about Hocus Pocus. Now it's our time to wrap things up and let everyone know what we think of this kickoff to Cultober. Eric has to spell to get to the next segment, because that's the only way I know how to transition.
All right, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Spell?
Ooh, cracking my bones. I'm ready.
Hocus Pocus.
Jesus fucking
Focus.
Christ.
Let me make one thing perfectly clear. The magic that brought us back only works tonight on All Hallows Eve when the sun comes up with dust. Toast. Pudding!
They did it.
Was that it? We're back in the new segment. Whoa.
Oh, it worked.
That was scary. I thought we was going to be stuck in limbo for a while.
I know.
I thought you turned us all into cats.
I felt like a cat for a while. That was very strange. Gypsy was eyeing us.
You better not turn me into a fucking cat.
Oh my God.
You would do great as a cat.
I'd be so pissed.
You're a popular color.
You'd be a cat, so no matter what, you'd be so pissed. But they sleep a lot. It would be great.
They do. Yeah, it's got to be fun to be a cat, yes.
And they can climb up to places where other things can't get
I would kill so much shit.
Yeah.
Well, me too. Yeah, I would too.
Like, being a cat is a free excuse to be an asshole, and everyone just has to accept it.
They just have to deal with it.
They give you treats.
And
feline leukemia.
Yeah.
There's that. Watch out for that,
all that stuff.
But
it's fun.
I already live a life of like respiratory, shit. So like whatever, I'll take on some feline leukemia for however long I make it. Same thing, just a cat now. That'd be my life.
I don't think so. I don't know how many leukemic cats have a podcast.
Yeah.
Well, that's true.
Wouldn't be a bad demographic to tap into, though. We do like our niches.
Here's the funny thing about the cat thing. These 3 witches are trying so hard to live young and immortal because they're so damn prideful that they want to be young and beautiful and immortal. They just wanted to be immortal. They've got the fucking spell to do it. They could have been forever a cat.
Why would you want to do that?
Why not? We just listed reasons why you would.
I don't think you want to be a female cat, though.
I'll give you one good reason why. Thumbs.
Zachary got on just fine without
First of all, it's Thackeray. Thumbs he doesn't have. And that's why Fred the utility worker died.
I mean, do they really need him? She sings for the book and the book comes over. They can magic it around. He could talk so she could still do her spells.
She has a complex about being beautiful. Do you think she's going to want to have fur and whiskers?
Well, and thank you. And that's my point. If she weren't so damn prideful and vain, she could have lived forever.
I feel like throughout media, cats are often sexualized in a manner that would make you think as though cats are attractive.
Wrong pussy, Ty.
You look at Michelle Pfeiffer and Halle Berry, a long line of sexualized cat people.
Related. Okay, I will. You know what? You have a good. Actually, that's true. You do kind of associate like in costuming this feline sexuality. Where did that come from?
I don't know.
I would just like to say, I do not associate cats with any form of sexuality.
No, but you know what we're talking about.
I don't know.
Catwoman, like
Michelle Pfeiffer. Michelle Pfeiffer rubbing around on Batman like a cat, and it's supposed to be sexy.
That's because they turned her into the fucking Crow for some reason, where she's like, "Oh, I come back from the dead. I'm also part cat."
Well, Crow's another good example. He's kind of animal.
How many sexy crows do you know?
The Crow is a sexy crow.
That's just
one of the 4 crow is pretty sexy. So
aren't we supposed to be talking about what we think of
the sexy Sanderson sisters? Yes,
the only one of them sexy because they dehorsed them.
You know what? One thing I will say, because I know I've talked about the sequel a lot, and I really do like the sequel, and I will say it's a good film.
Let's talk about
the sequel does one of the main focuses of it is dealing with like a lot of things you notice here where Winifred. I don't know why she's barking. Sure, my neighbors. Shy. My neighbors must be moving or something outside.
Sanderson Sisters have come for you.
Hey! Her bark. She doesn't really bark at all. She doesn't bark hardly.
No, she's never done this. She's pulling a gypsy right now.
Oh, no. She's like, I'm making up for it. I'm in this one, motherfucker.
Hey, is everything okay?
Yeah, I just don't know why she's barking, so.
Is everything all right?
Yeah, I don't know why she's barking.
Go look.
Yeah, see what's up.
Well, my apartment's 2 feet wide. I can see the door. I mean, I don't need to get up or anything. I can see
your door locked?
I can see my whole house. Shy.
Now you have to send me a PNG of Shy.
Okay,
yep,
I will.
Now we
interrupted.
I've got PNGs of Shy. I've that one that I put your eyes in. I'll send you that one.
No, don't use that one. Send it to me, but we'll use a different one.
Okay. So one of the things I will say about the sequel is it does a good job. One of the things that it talks about a lot is stuff you guys noticed here in this one, where Winifred is very dismissive of her sisters. Mm-hmm. You know, they're just like these things she has to deal with. Well, in the sequel, that is her sisters kind of catch on to that at a certain point.
Oh,
and she for a while has to deal with what the idea of not having anybody is. And it's really interesting. And the sequel is really good. I will say I like the sequel a lot.
I like that premise.
Like not all these legacy sequels are shit. There's this and The Christmas Story are fantastic sequels. If you guys ever get around to watching them, they're amazing. And
all right, I'll at least give the sequel a shot because
it's good.
I have no interest.
Yeah,
it's good.
It's the next step.
If you don't support these good sequels, they're going to keep making bad ones. You got to support the good ones.
I want them to stop making them in their entirety.
Oh no, I love a good sequel, but
there aren't any. There aren't any anymore.
Terminator 2, that's a good sequel.
Even James Cameron has come out and said that if he were doing movies now, he never would have made those movies. Hollywood has completely flipped their lids. So no.
I like sequels.
Stop
I don't like all sequels, but there's good sequels. But Hocus Pocus 2, that's one of the things that addresses in there, and I think it's pretty interesting you guys picked that up in here because it's fleshed out in the sequel.
Yeah, they kind of take a next step to it.
Yeah, Hocus Pocus 2, like I said, I'm not a big Hocus Pocus fan.
Right.
But Hocus Pocus 2 felt like it was made with obviously everything's a cash grab, everything's making money. But it felt like it had a little more sincerity behind it than a cash grab, like one of the Scream sequels or something. Yeah. But it felt like it had a lot more sincerity because they actually like Bette Midler and stuff. You can tell she really cares about that character and these characters, these Sanderson sisters. Mm-hmm. So like they're really good about how they handle them and stuff. I think it's a really good movie.
I think that's what makes the difference too, is having a cast and a crew who understand the weight is the word that I'm going to use and like actually love it.
Oh, my groceries got delivered. That's why she's working. I got a notification on my groceries got delivered.
So
she was like, "Hey, my food's out there.
Yeah,
go get it, Dad."
Ty, you said you didn't really like this, or that you thought it was boring.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's boring or it just don't, for some reason Hocus Pocus just doesn't resonate with me. I don't know what it is. I mean, it's not a bad movie. I don't think it's bad at all. Like I'm not going to sit here and like shit on it and say that it's an awful movie because it's a good flick. Just for whatever reason, it just doesn't resonate with me like everyone else. Like I get the appeal of it. I like the way it looks. I like all the stuff in it, but it just for some reason it just does not resonate with me. I love Book, the spell book. I love that, and that's in the sequel. He's like the book is a lot more prominent, which I liked as well. Yeah. I mean, that's one of the reasons I like the sequel a lot too. But I like the way it looks. I mean, I like everything about this movie. Just for some reason, it just is not like I could leave it or take it. I don't really. Yeah. But it's not a bad movie by any means.
Right. Yeah. But you don't think? Do you think it's like what? You're not resonating with the characters necessarily or the story? Because I'm just curious. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really know. Honestly, it's just I don't know how to put it. It's just it's no Maniac Cop 2. That's all I can say.
No Maniac Cop 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a pretty traditional story though of the witches trying to get the children.
Yeah.
So I could see it on that aspect. It gets almost, and this is a bit of a stretch, it's almost like Hansel and Gretel vibes.
Well, sure, yeah.
That's a classic witch tale,
the children, the kids invaded like the witch's space in a way that they weren't supposed to and have to deal with the consequences. Yeah. What I thought was also neat was like it's a fish out of water story for like both Max and Winifred, well, the witches, but Winnie.
Winifred specifically.
Yeah. Like Max is new to town. Well, and his sister too. So, okay, yes. The three, the three and the siblings, I guess. All the siblings in the movie. They're like, in the witches are in a new time that's modern and they don't know shit about it. And Max is able to use like knowledge that he knows they don't have against them. If I light a fire, then water is going to fall down from the ceiling and so forth. They have to, the sirens scaring them when the fire trucks rolled up and the witches had it's like they wouldn't know what the fuck that was. That was so weird. But where was I going? But Max is also, fish out of water, new town. And, also doubly so because now there's witches and zombies and talking cats in the world. So, but like also Salem itself is a whole new environment to him. And it's, he just is better at adapting than Winifred. He doesn't.
Right.
Yeah. Although she's pretty one thing I noticed in this watch that I never noticed before was her memory is fucking amazing.
Yes.
Like there are so many scenes. Quick. Yeah, where she just picks up on stuff right quick, like the song she sings that's playing when she's walking into the party, and and they're walking out of getting burned in the fire. Ben, you were mentioning
she learned the French
from the audiobook that they lured him in with and stuff like that. And it kind of explains something that I thought of as an inconsistency before, where she was like, pull over and show me your driver's license and making these really modern jokes. And it's like, well, no, she started out the movie with these and dies and just was picking it all up as she went along.
She figured out trick or treat.
She figured out trick or treat, you're right, and the road. And yeah.
She was so crafty. She was so proud of herself when she thought the firefighters were witch hunters, though.
Yeah.
See how they wear black cloaks and carry axes to chop the wood that burns us.
So that's why I don't think Max is stupid. He's helping out with this intelligent woman, at least. Yeah. Maybe not her sisters, but
I do love that reaction when they first see the fire trucks in the ambulance.
God, it's so funny.
You just scream.
It's great.
I have no idea. It's great. It really is a really good reaction.
Oh.
All right. So we found what Ty thinks about it. Eric, what do you think about it?
I think I've kind of inserted a lot of my thoughts in along the way.
Yeah, I think we heard what Bailey thinks of it.
Yeah.
I love this movie. This is a classic for me, and it was in my household even growing up. I love the witches. The costuming is beautiful. The sets are beautiful.
Yeah.
The dialogue is actually really funny. It still holds up today as well. And even, all of the antics and whatnot. It's great. I love it. I love it so much. I actually have a lot of Hocus Pocus merch around my house. Like I have a mug, I have a sign. I'm pretty sure there's a pillow somewhere. It's a lot. So this is a classic for me. I absolutely love this film.
Well, do we want to rate it?
Ben, did you tell us your thoughts?
Oh, yeah. I like it.
You're sweet.
Deep. Very deep.
I mean, listen, it's a great kids movie that older people can enjoy it as well. Bette Midler and the witches seem to be having a ball doing it. The kid actors are not so bad that they're unwatchable. They all do great. The interactions are great. It's a short, brief movie that doesn't take a whole lot of time.
No.
I this is on the screen every October at least once.
Yep. Yeah. So let's go ahead and rate this the first movie of Cultober 2023. Bailey, go ahead and rate it. Out of 5.
Out of 5.
Anything out of 5.
Anything out of 5. I am going to give this 5 gardens made of magic from the song.
Nice.
Yep.
That was 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5.
I absolutely adore this film. Going back and watching it, I even as an adult can still pick out newer details and whatnot. And I actually only have vague memories of that final scene, looking at the book and seeing the eye actually open,
pop open.
So I actually watching it this past time. That was a detail that I really honed in on.
It's surprise.
So yeah. So even at 26 years old, probably the first time I saw this was probably between 6 and 10 years old. So still picking all that stuff up. I love this movie.
Well, I'm going to give it a 3 spell books out of 5. Kind of middle of the road rating for me. So it's just a middle of the road movie for me. I gave it on the good side. 3 out of 5.
Right, you did. Yeah. That's honest. Yeah. I appreciate that.
It's a good flick. Just for some reason, just does not resonate with me. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to have Eric psychoanalyze me more to figure out why it doesn't resonate.
I don't do that to people. Just movies. And I'm not qualified to psychoanalyze anyone.
But yeah, 3 out of 5 spell books for me.
I'll go 4 out of 5 Dead Men's Toes.
4 out of 5 Dead Men's Toes. Nice.
I love this movie. It's not perfect. We picked up some, was it continuity errors? Picked up a few of those. There was one time where they were driving against the children for some reason.
Yeah. Children that are being drawn towards the witches where they want to go. Yeah.
So there's stuff like, and I mean, I don't like, that's not a big one. Like, oh my God, but I mean, it is kind of a big one.
Yeah.
Like, how did you miss that?
Can have to like make a right turn and another right turn and
so it's not a 5.
No,
but I mean, I do dearly love this movie, so I'll go 4 out of 5 Dead Men's Toes.
All right, I'm gonna keep on simping for this movie. It is gonna be 5 out of 5 Descendants of Thackeray Binks.
5 out of 5 cat people.
5 out of 5 cat people. I think I liked this movie more every time that I watch it, I think, and I've always loved it. So, but there's always just more that I find in it that I enjoy, or old stuff that I'm comfortable in this movie. And I think it tells a really good story. I think it is able to tie all these characters together thematically in a way that isn't cramming it into your face. Like Winnie and Max have a lot of parallels, but they are completely different people. Like they're their own characters. Everybody's
you don't see it unless you're hunting.
Yeah. I had to get really because it all just flows so naturally, and the witches are all just so great. They're just fun as hell to watch. So. There you go. My spiel inserted once again.
There we go. That was our rating. It rated pretty good for a kickoff here on Cultober.
Yeah.
So good way to kick off the month. Yeah, good way to kick it off. 2023, our third Cultober. Isn't that crazy? 3 of these we've done so far. It is wild. It is wild. It seems like
3 years of this bullshit.
It's wild. It is wild that we've been doing this long. Now this year, like I said, Cultober this year is bigger than we've ever done it. It's got a lot of work. We hope you guys check out everything. This year, we are doing Cultober exclusives every Sunday. You're getting a PG movie. Every Wednesday and every Friday, you're getting exclusive Cultober movie reviews right here on youtube.com/culttalknet. In addition to that, Cult Talk Conspiracy, we are doing a special Cultober Encounters every Tuesday this month. I was going to call it Encountober, but I held off on that.
Encountober.
Cultober. Cult Talk Conspiracies Encountober, but I didn't want to have Cultober and Encountober. It's just bad branding. Have that many on, but you can put that on a shirt. And there will be 2 very special Halloween episodes of Cult of Lore.
Yep.
And it's Cultober, so as usual, we're bringing back Cult of Campbell for 5 episodes of Bruce Campbell goodness and Friends. Yes. Bruce Campbell and Friends. We have a couple episodes that don't even have Bruce in them, but we're talking about him anyways. Maybe it's because we love him. Maybe it's because I was just really straining to get some content this month. But it's up to you. You be the judge.
You decide.
You decide. But yeah, this is a huge month for us. Man, looking at the calendar, looking at the release schedule for this month is scary. That's the scariest part of Cultober.
Yep.
Is making all these releases.
It really is the biggest Cultober yet.
Biggest one yet. Next month, next year, we'll do 3 months.
3 months?
3 months.
You want to pull a Christmas on this starting further and further forward until we start interrupting other holidays?
Until we just have a whole year of Cultober.
Just a year of Cultober.
Don't we have a business meeting coming up where we can vote tie out? A thing that's coming.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
Oh no, we're arranging a special one.
Yeah. Don't worry. I'll just.
Michael will do it himself if he hears that. 3 months of what? Fuck you.
It don't matter. I'm just going to gaslight it as being Eric's idea, anyways.
But
like Michael's going to believe that Eric's got that kind of spine.
Wow, Winnie.
Man.
I am the pretty one.
You are the pretty one.
Actually, take that back. Everybody knows that it's Eric. That's the whole.
But there you go. Thank you guys.
Listen, I was going to say Bailey, but we all know that I can't get away with that one.
No, you can't get away with that one.
That's right.
No.
You can't.
Nope.
But there we have it, guys. Thank you for joining us here for the very first episode for Cultober 2023. We're kicking off the month. It's in full swing, baby. It's not nonstop from here on out. So hope you enjoy this. We work really hard on these episodes. And we hope you guys join us for each and every one. It's a lot, but we do it because we love you guys, do it because we love doing this, and we love this month. So it's our way of celebrating all those things. Make sure you guys follow us at Cult Talk Net, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, all everything. If you go to a social media platform, you type in at Cult Talk Net, odds are I probably I've got it. So
yes,
at Cult Talk Net across everything. Cult of Campbell every Monday. Cult Talk Conspiracy every other Tuesday, every Tuesday this month, and Cult of Lore first and third Thursday mostly of the month. If you don't see it on Thursday, wait till the next day. I'll be there. And
but peek in on Thursday because it might actually.
Check on Thursday. Don't be thrown off if it's on Thursday. Maybe sometimes might be a Saturday. You never know. I don't know. Just
every now and again a little magic happens.
If it's a Saturday, then we've really loosened our belts.
Yeah, there was one Saturday.
Yeah,
but that was the 1 year release.
That was the 1 year.
That was something.
Yeah.
That
I
was
was drunk from celebrating Cult of Lore.
We had a huge bash, but there you go. Thank you guys for joining us, and we hope you guys have a very happy Cultober. Stick with us to the end of the month where we're going to have a Halloween special. We are doing the Addams Family this year,
that's going
to be a fun one. That's going to tie into. We have a whole little thing planned for the Addams Family going forth this year. So make sure you stick with us because it's going to be a fun one. Until next time, I've been Ty.
I've been Eric.
I've been Bailey.
And I'm Ben.
And have a happy Cultober.
Bye.